What's up, Raiders? Bionic here. Today we're talking about the arena, and it's broken. I think it is. Personally, the tag team arena launch was somewhat of a fail. A lot of people were complaining it's unfair for the beginner players to be matched up with the whales. Now we're into the second week of this, and so maybe, hopefully, some of you guys have moved up into the bronze tier 3. I know I have, but apparently the green bar is not the only thing, or is not the final deciding factor if you're going to go up or not. So you guys might have seen the post by Carilla, or you might have not. Let's quickly break it down, because I think it's really important, because I believe that not all of this was said, or at least I don't remember being told how exactly this was going to work. But basically what she is saying is that the even though like you were in the green portion, okay, of the indicator, it's not a guaranteed transfer. As you know, there is a limited number of players that can be in tiers above the first one at the same time. So I don't know if this is part of the initial push, the first 12 weeks, to see who can get to gold tier 4. But what it means is that basically only always a fraction of the players within that tier can go up. So right before the reset, several players that have the same number of points will be in the green zone. So even if you're in the green zone with these points, only the first one to reach those points or that threshold will go up into the next league. So how can you tell this? How can you know as a player looking at your green bar, like I do mine right now, is this enough for me? Was I the first to reach 60 points, and let's say I do not do another battle for the entire week and still remain in the green zone? How would I know if I'm going to go up or not? This is poorly done. I think they should have a better system, or maybe just, you know, the green bar should actually indicate whether you go up or not. We're not supposed to guess this, right? So a lot of people are probably putting a lot of time and a lot of money into this new content, and we're not really getting the most out of it, right? So let's keep going with this post right here. Then they say basically this time the order to climb up the ladder and go from bronze 1 to 2, you needed a score of at least 1808 points. From bronze 2 to 3 was 781. That is super low. So like I was in the 1,300 something, which means I was good. Like for the last 2-3 days, I stopped doing battles whatsoever. There was no point for me to waste my time because I'm not getting gold bars, and I was in the green portion of the bar. So I thought I'm good. Like I'm not going to spend more time on this aspect of the game for now. I'll do something else. Anyway, then they say exceptions are possible if you scored more points in the last seconds before the reset, and they were not thus counted by the system. So apparently pushing at the last second is also not a plan. Anyway, again, I really think this is somewhat broken or poorly done. They need to ensure that, you know, whatever we see there is an actual representation of what is going to happen, right? So then they apologize, pretty words and lots of hearts and smiley faces. But they're saying we do realize that the whole thing with the green zone is rather confusing. Yeah, it is. Can you make it a little bit more clear for us? Because I'd love to fully understand how this works. So we're working on improving this aspect. So the launch of this feature, once again, in my opinion, is a fail. I talked about it before, and I'll say it again. I really hope they fix this. Much like, that's the second part of this video, the arena boosting, okay? We did have Manable Gaming ask the Ranger, because the Diamond is on vacation, probably a much needed vacation for that poor guy, because he's constantly having to deal with us complaining. But he said, just check the status of the boost issue. Devs agree that we should fix this, but they are still thinking on the way of how to do this correctly. Interesting. So they're still only thinking about it. And then we do have a second part of this conversation here. And he says basically, I understand your feelings, man, because I think some players are indicating that, listen, like a lot of us have put a ton of money into this game. I mean, tens of thousands of dollars into this game for the competitive aspect of it in order to try and finish first in the Platinum Arena. Yet, cheaters and boosting are preventing these so-called players from finishing first and getting the best loot. That is extremely frustrating. I mean, I don't even put money, and I can only imagine that if money would be involved at this point, I would be losing my... Anyway, yeah. So they're saying the Diamond and community managers are doing their best, reminding devs about this issue and forwarding players' feedback on this. But unfortunately, there were a lot of issues in the game, and we need to fix some other issues first. Okay, so this is not important to them at this point. This is not an important enough problem. Probably doesn't fit in their metrics or analytics data at some point. It's not preventing them from losing money to some extent. Therefore, if anything, maybe it's encouraging players to spend even more, so it is not a priority. That's how I look at this right now. So listen, I'm not calling out Plarium. I don't want to. It does sound like it, but I'm simply trying to prove a point yet again that they're not looking to necessarily improve the bad aspects of the game. They're always focusing on what is going to generate more money immediately. Same thing with the Battle Pass, same thing with all the other features we've been asking for, same thing with the Hydra boss and even the roadmap. As you can see, like, they didn't even follow their plan. They did not put out the Battle Pass. They did not put out the Void Tower. They went for the 3v3 arena. Now we're supposedly going to get some kind of new faction and perhaps eventually the new clan boss, which is supposed to be this super cool Hydra clan boss. Yet they're saying they're going to do things and they don't do it. They're basically, just like I said, saying that, you know, these problems are not our priority right now. So at this point, what do? We accept them as features. Boosting is a feature of this game, you know, just deal with it for the time being until they're ready to fix it. And these new features to be added in the game will come out when they come out. So, I mean, just stop expecting. At this point, like, anything they say, as I said before, it really feels like just pretty words to calm us down and to stop us from, you know, complaining too much, and then just business as usual. So today, guys, it was really more of a rant once again, but I felt like I wanted to, or I should at least talk about it, okay? Like I said, I was lucky enough to move to Bronze Tier 3. I don't know how far I'm going to get in this first 12 weeks or whatever. I'm really eager to see how the Bazaar is going to turn out, how hard these new accessories are going to be to get. And I really feel bad for the players that are spending a lot of money for Platinum Arena and then they are not able to finish first because of this so-called cheating. So it is very sad that they're treating the game this way right now, and I would really like it for it to be fair. I want this to be fair so that if I myself even try to push for Platinum, it's going to be worth it. I would also love the fact that I wouldn't have to get up at 3 in the morning to try and finish first in the last couple of minutes or hours of the reset, right? But again, they're not looking to change that anytime soon. So for the time being, just keep enjoying the game if you can, however you can. And let me know what you think. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Is Plarium really, you know, kind of given up on the game, or like what's their idea here? What are they trying to do with the game by not addressing some of these obvious issues? Even though we, the content creators, are basically constantly telling them we need to fix this, we need to change this. It's basically, yep, we're taking everything into consideration and thinking about it. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys later.